Rabbit, Tuesday, February 1st, 11/11/2022. Rabbit. Hold on one sec. I gotta do some biz. You know what I'm saying? Warriors barely made it tonight. Warriors, like by 4 points? Come on. Let me get to here and do this thing where I go public, edit, privacy, show is now public, done. Good morning, good evening, hello. And then we go like this. I know what else I can do. Do you know what else I can do? I can copy it, and then I go here and I say, my name is Jenna. This is 11/11 with Jenna. I am here 7 days, 7 nights, 14 times a week. That's right. 14 times a week. That's right. Jenny, sugar, do. My friend Jenny's going to be on the show. My friend Gina's going to be on the show. My friend Jenny's going to be on the show. Jenna Mammina. But tonight. But yeah, so on Thursday night, we will be making truffle popcorn. So on Thursday night, get some popcorn, get some truffle oil. I know it's not cheap. Get some truffle oil, and then I'm going to share this show right now, right here. Tuesday with Andy. Let it go. No. Tuesday with Andy. I'm just gonna wait. Where am I sharing this again? Wrong. I'm sharing it to a page, and the page I'm choosing is Jenna Mammina. Post Tuesday with Andy. And then I'm going to share it again. Guess where? On Andy Rader's page. Share to a page. What page is that? Wait, how do I do that? Friends timeline. I'm learning. Took me like 2 years to figure it out, but I'm learning. I learned something new. Except it won't let me. Oh, Andy, your page is private. You gotta loosen up on your Facebook. Loosen it up on your Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Wrong song, Jenna. Ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Rader in the house. I'm sharing. I learned something tonight that I should have known 2 years ago, but maybe it wasn't there. I am sharing the show on your page. This show is now being shared on your page.
Live?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is.
Wow.
How would you like the show to be titled?
Live with Jenna Mammina.
Live with
11/11.
With Andrew Rader. Done.
You hear Emma drinking?
Hi, Emma's. I don't know why I do that. I add S's to animals' names. I just do. William D. Tim Spitali. William D. You can't hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. And I heard you on Facebook. So, oh, actually,
I can hear you.
no, I turned it off on Facebook. What's
What did you turn off? Hold the wire.
no? I heard you on Facebook.
Need to get some tea. Tea, 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 tea.
Now
So,
notice.
have you watched? Are you guys Ozark people?
We watched the previous seasons. We haven't gotten into the latest.
I'm still in. I was gonna say chapter 2. I'm in season 2. Gracie and I are season 2. Hi, Emma. Do you enjoy it?
I liked it. I mean, I could see it's intense for sure.
Like sometimes I just have to walk away. I just have to walk away.
Yeah. You need, whenever you watch a show like that, you need to balance it out with something
But the comedy, like
goofy,
like Emily in Paris or something.
or Schitt's Creek, or
Right.
you know, just
Yeah, Emily in Paris. That's a good one.
yeah, something completely lighthearted, frivolous.
They definitely know how to get you back in, though, don't you think? Gotta watch
With
Ozark.
With Ozark?
Yeah.
Yeah, all those shows are,
Hi, Julie
they're
Luce.
cliffhangers. You got to find out what's going to happen.
Long time no see, Julie Luce. Where you been, girl? Did you see this, Andy? Look.
What am I looking? Oh, your T-shirt. Yeah, you had it last week, right?
No.
No,
Did I have them last week?
I think.
Has
I
it
think
been
I
that
saw
long
it.
that I've had them already?
Oh, I see the white one and the black one.
Girl, Linda Siriano.
Exciting. Merch. You got the merch.
I do have a cool shirt on, though. My Valentine. My dog is my Valentine.
See.
Because, Lillian's birthday is Valentine's Day.
Really? We
For For reals.
Is it on her birth certificate?
Yeah. No, it really did happen. That Valentine's Day.
Now I'm gonna take a page out of the Trump playbook. I want to see that birth certificate.
Okay, give me a day and a half, and then I'll.
I want to interview the maternity nurses.
Well, poor thing. She was basically tossed out in the trash.
Oh.
Yeah, because she was at a her father is a.
It was a Great Dane.
Her mother. She has Great Dane in her. Her mother was an Italian Greyhound at a breeder in Lakeport.
Oh.
And then this little terrier got in there.
Maybe that's how Whippets came to be.
Could be. But she has this percentage of Great Dane in her too. You can tell from the back, the way she walks, the way she stands. She does handstands. You ever seen her do a handstand, Shauna?
No, I don't think so.
She levitates. When she was a puppy, she started levitating when she'd eat her food. Like she's eating her food. This is her face, right? Eating her food, and then all of a sudden she just goes. And
That's a yoga pose. What is it? The on your elbows like this.
This one.
Yeah.
I can't think of the asana that it is. But so any cool people this week? Any
Well, I don't know if I talked about this case before, but I am seeing someone who's relatively fresh out of recovery. She did 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And did I talk about it? last
did,
time?
but it's okay.
Oh, okay. Real interesting because the words, and now I'm remembering I did talk about it because saying these words, the
In front of the screen.
identification with being spontaneous and on the edge and being a rebel and, identities. These are how we identify ourselves. And if it's an identity, it's going to be pretty tough to change. But if you can see that it's an identity, it can evaporate.
If you see it as an identity, as opposed to what?
Not seeing it as an identity. Yeah, okay.
So
Again,
she's a rebel.
like,
She was a rebel, like as a partier, she was like rebel girl, and now she's this different.
well,
person.
just always looking for the extreme. She's extreme. She says she's, but again, if you're in a dream and you're being chased by a lion, you're being chased by a lion, and then you wake up and you realize, oh, that was a dream. Or when you're watching a movie or reading a book, you're in the plot. You forget that it's a movie or a book. And then boom, you could realize, oh, wait a minute, this is a movie.
Not real, right?
And the plot is still there. So the identity can still be there. But when you see it as an identity, it loses its power. It has to be operating undercover for it to have all its power. Once it's in the light of day, it doesn't have so much power.
So you're supporting her. She was in 8 weeks, and didn't you work with her pre?
Yeah, we did one session to have her get in the right mindset to enter into this process, so she wouldn't bail out in the middle if things got tricky. And so she did it.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good night,
And-
Michael.
So we did our third session the other day, and we're going to let her ride for a few weeks, see how she does.
Hi, Mama Grace. That's exciting. Good for her. That's huge.
Yeah. And ketamine was her latest drug of choice. She's done a whole handful of others that she went through.
Isn't that interesting how ketamine's a drug, but it's also a drug that people are using for depression, and it's work. I know I have two friends that are using it as a nasal spray. Ketamine. And they're totally different people.
We're in a process of therapy, in conjunction with therapy.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah.
their nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
Linda would like to know what ketamine is. Do you mind? Vitamin K.
Just very generally, it's a psychotropic substance, which is becoming, it's been around for a long time. And now I would just say the whole world of microdosing is coming back. Well, it was never microdosing before, it was dosing before. Michael Pollan's book is really an excellent book to get a historic view, including how Bill from 12-step, back in the 50s, they were using LSD to treat alcoholics in Alcoholics Anonymous. And movie stars were doing LSD with their therapists. Cary Grant had dozens, if not, a couple of hundred, I think it was some astronomical number of trips with. When I say with, I don't think the therapist was tripping too. Maybe. That would be a tough career choice if you're doing acid trips with all your patients.
It's called How to Change Your Mind.
How to Change Your Mind, Michael Pollan.
Great book.
Yeah, he's a wonderful writer. He does his research, and I appreciate the historic perspective. Of course, he talks about Richard Alpert, who became Ram Dass, with Timothy Leary. They gave a more fleshed out account of what happened. How, what's his name in Tucson? Andrew Weil.
Right.
That was a wild story, because we all know somehow they got ratted out and then were fired from Harvard. It was Andrew Weil who ratted them out.
Right.
Very, and this is not gossip because it's in the book.
For real. And Andrew Weil will talk about it.
He was a freshman. He wanted to get into their class, but it was only for upper class people. And when I say upper class people, I mean, in the day they called it upperclassmen, juniors and seniors, and grad students. And he wanted to get in the class and they wouldn't let him. And so he was pissed off. And he heard about, maybe there were some other people who got into the class who maybe shouldn't have gotten in the class, but he had a chip on his shoulder, and he ratted them out, especially around them dosing prisoners, because they did some work with prisoners. They bring the whole class into the prison and get high with the prisoners and the students. And those were the days. Make America great again.
It's true. We were talking about microdosing on the show the other day. Hey, we just got to do a little. Let's do a little.
11, Jenna. 11, Jenna. 11, Jenna. 11, who you gonna call right now? 11, Jenna. With Jenna. 11, Jenna. Right now. 11, Jenna. With Jenna. 11, who you gonna call right now?
Truly, we've missed you. I've missed you. That was perfect.
So if I say anything bizarre or strange, or it's because I have a sty in my eye.
Yari Mander's here. Hi, Yari.
Hey, Yari.
What's happening, Yari?
We have to
You
catch
have
up.
an eye in your eye.
I have a sty in my eye.
How long have you had this so-called?
Well, it's interesting. It started as a feeling lower down, as a tenderness, as a soreness, as a,
Your cheekbone, in your cheek.
well, it felt like, yeah, it was it felt like muscular. And, you know, my mind starts flying around. I think, oh, this is the early signs of Bell's palsy. I'm going to have a Bell's palsy episode. And then slowly it started to make its way, the feeling started to migrate. And then today I noticed this little white bump under in here. And that, you know, that's the diagnosis.
So what are you doing for this so-called sty?
Well, most styes just self-resolve, but I'm going to put some hot compress. Yeah,
Good.
I'm going to put a hot compress because it's
Patty.
in the conjunctive.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to mess around. You don't want to put crap in there.
No crap in there.
So no crap. But hot compress would speed up the process.
Is it bothering you while you're talking to us right now?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I can feel it. I know it's there.
Was it hard? Is it difficult to do the dishes when you have a sty?
Oh, it is so difficult to do
bet.
dishes.
I bet.
Shauna, I can't do the dishes. I have
Really?
I have a
Bend-
sty in
can't
my eye.
bend down, can't pick up, can't remember.
Because the pressure of, looking the other way.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure of looking the other. Actually, I don't look up if you have
Don't
a
look up.
sky in your eye. Don't look up or down.
So, we have a movie club now, Monday night movie.
Oh, right. What was the movie last night?
We chose the week before, we chose Tick, Tick, Boom.
Oh, I loved it. We loved it.
And yeah, Suzanne said Bell's palsy. That's so Woody Allen. That's so Woody Allen. And we chose for this week, I think we're gonna we picked a couple of rom-coms, but it didn't quite materialize so well. I picked one called About Time that I really like a lot. Have you seen About Time?
I did. About time.
Give me more.
But then next week it's time travel week. So we're gonna come up with a time travel movie. Time travel is a time travel love story. But then we also chose Holiday, and there's a new movie coming out tomorrow night called what is it? Tinder. What's the Tinder movie called, William?
Oh yeah.
Tinder.
We just saw the
Tinder it?
previews for
So
it.
Tinder. I've listened to 2 podcasts about it. Tinder.
And who's in it?
It's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
Yeah. What's the Tinder movie called, Suzanne? Yeah, it's a documentary about a guy who he doesn't have Bell's palsy. He was
No.
just
See-
tracking.
See how rumors start.
Tinder swindler.
Oh, Tinder swindler.
Yeah, it's this guy. Suzanne, I listened to a podcast today about it. This guy he basically does like the airplane thing, like he gets the money from here and then takes it, gets money here and then go and then.
That's called pyramid scheme.
Airplane to pyramid scheme, same thing.
Hey, what?
Back in the North Berkeley days in the 80s, we called it airplane.
But what's the term when somebody is swindling you as a fake lover? There's a term. Shauna, remember the term?
What are we talking about?
If somebody's scamming you as a love interest,
Oh, right.
does somebody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's a particular
What
word
do you
for it.
mean?
What?
What do you mean? Because I'm sure I've been there. So just tell me a little bit more, and then I'll tell you more.
Oh, so if you're dating online, it doesn't.
Catfishing.
Catfishing.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. There's a level of catfishing in this. Hello, Bonnie Barker. Catfishing. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this
tell
Tinder
Shauna.
swindler is not necessarily catfishing. It's some other swindle
He swindles women. Mm-hmm.
by
Meets
pretending.
one and pretends he's like this uber rich guy,
Yeah, that's catfishing.
and then he meets the other one, and then he goes to this one, and then sorry, I have to go into hiding for a little while. I think I might write a movie. Yari Mander, you can count me in. What are we doing? Oh, count me in. Okay. So all movies are on Netflix, and on Monday nights, if you want to be a part of the story, you message me, Yari, if you want to be a part of our weekly discussion, and then it's fun. So next week it'll be time travel.
So you have to finish watching the movie by 11:11 Eastern time.
Tinder swindler and About Time or Holiday. But Tinder swindler was our number one. We also talked about My Octopus Teacher the week before.
So even though you've talked about it, do you think there's a little bit of playing around with the timeline or editing, or is it exactly as it's?
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Elaborate.
Well, he's going into ice cold water.
Starling. Have you seen Starling?
No.
The Starling. Oh, put it on your list.
I'm writing it down.
Thank you, Suzanne. I knew there was another one. The Starling. Right, Dan. Get on the Starling. Get on the Starling bus. Let go of Ozark for a little while and go see the Starling.
It's a movie, right?
I love Starling. It's so great. It's so great. It's just, yeah. Thank you, Suzanne. And this is all Netflix platform watching.
That makes it easy.
So, what are you two binging? I mean, enjoying these days?
Oh, we read a book.
Oh, we're reading.
We read.
Well, there's a book called
Better to have gone.
Better to Have Gone. It's about Oroville, the
India.
international utopian community near Pondicherry, near
Yeah.
Sri Aurobindo and the mothers. It was the mother's vision. We actually visited in 1984. And when we were young in our 20s, had a flash of, wow, maybe we could
Yeah.
live here. It was pretty raw back then. And now reading this book, oh my God, we would have come in at a very difficult time. The book is written by a man who is a journalist. He happened to have been born and raised in Oroville. And his wife was also born and raised there. And her mother and you could say stepfather died on the same day in 1986. This is sort of how it starts. A couple, they die on the same day. And the woman leaves her daughter childless. I mean, you could say parentless, but her biological father is still alive. And there were adults to take care of her, but obviously it's traumatic. And then the way the book is written, the two of them meet again in their adult lives. Oh, I don't want to, I'm not going to spoil it.
I saw an interview with them. Okay.
Oh, you did? They meet in their adult lives, get married, and then come back to Oroville and then piece together through hundreds of interviews
It's really
a
cool.
history of Oroville and a history of these two people. And it's so well written and so well done. It's great, great story.
I have a friend that was born there.
Oh, okay.
Guitar player that I work with,
Wow.
Gennaro, and he grew up in Santa Cruz. And
How old is it? How old is this friend?
Gennaro, you might have met him because I was playing with him when I was living on Carlton Street. Gennaro I was 22 and he was 15, 16. So he's now, he's 50.
Yeah, so Oroville was inaugurated in 1968. And so in 2018, it was 50. So he was one of the early ones.
Yeah, his parents, and his mom is a cook. She's a cookbook author, and she's done some interesting. I used to share. It was called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Oh, we're talking about another movie, Suzanne. Okay.
Well, I'm sure he knows he grew up with these
Yeah,
people.
But
Yeah.
then I did see that I saw an interview with her, a
With-
vlog with her,
With Oralise.
or Elise. Thank you.
Oralise and Arash.
So when you read a book together,
Yeah.
do you read page by page, chapter by chapter?
Yeah.
Generally chapter by chapter until one of us starts falling asleep,
You pass it back and forth?
Yeah, we can. So if we're going on a drive, so we get if we're going on a drive
You read in the car?
straight in the car, and like last weekend we drove down to Santa Cruz, so that's 2 hours each way. That's 4 hours of
That was
Good.
vomiting for me.
Yeah. And yeah, you can get it done if you do it like that. Or
Cute.
someone will fall asleep and the other person will read ahead maybe 10 pages or so. And then the next day, the other person catches up on their own, and then we take it from there.
And when did this start?
Oh.
When did
When we-
reading
How old were you?
books out loud in general?
Together. To the two
Oh,
of
we-
you together.
On and off for years. On and off for years. It has to be the right kind of book, though. It has to be, a really good story. Not going to read any dry. This is nonfiction. Generally,
Connie and I would have to be sitting in the front seat while y'all are reading to us, or we'll both be throwing up. I'm figuring that out right now. The front seat's going to have a lot of people in it. So
Yeah.
we don't get sick.
So this is nonfiction, but generally it would be fiction that we would read out loud.
Do you ever read them over?
No.
The same book twice? No,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Bad form.
No.
I like to read books over. I've read certain novels over,
Yeah, on your own, maybe.
but not to the other person. Not with the other. Hi,
No.
April. April's here.
No.
So what was for dinner tonight?
Simple.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. I made
Greens, garlic greens,
mashed red
umeboshi.
potatoes. Here's something that kind of a little pet peeve of mine. You buy a bag of nice organic potatoes, and within a short period of time, they're sprouting.
Yes, what's that about? They're old potatoes when they package them.
Yeah, I don't want them to do anything nasty to retard the sprouting, but I got to look into this. I'll have to
What would you do
report back.
nasty?
What?
What would you do nasty to retard the sprouting?
Oh, I'm sure there are
Like put vinegar on them, put them in vinegar.
better living through chemistry methods.
Well, maybe not chemist, but maybe vinegar or something does it.
Um,
I think that's happening a lot in food right now. I've purchased some food recently. What did I get the other day? Oh, some lettuce, brand new, Trader Joe's mixed greens. I opened it the next day; they were already rotten.
oh, you know what to do.
No, they were slimy.
No, meaning you bring that slimy bag back, and
You don't even have to bring it back.
you don't even have to bring it back. You just tell
So
them.
I bought 16 bags. I had 3 bags of, and I said I opened the one, it was bad. Opened the second, it was bad, and they said okay.
Yeah, they get that all the time, I'm sure.
No,
You know, one trick. I'll tell you a trick. You
Not
pick the bag from the very far
I
back.
always pick from the back. I like fall into the refrigerator picking from the back. I've fallen in before. No, but this was like nothing is new from TJ's. I don't know what that means.
Meaning nothing is fresh from
Nothing's
TJ's.
Oh, yeah, there are fresh things at TJ's. Sure, there are.
Yeah,
But
it's not my first choice for.
that's not mine
produce.
either. But I have to drive an hour just to do that.
Yeah.
So,
You have a Trader Joe's very close to you?
no, I said I
Yeah,
have to
just
drive
to
an
do
hour
that?
to do that.
Oh, wow.
Which is why I always have my garden here in the summer,
Yeah.
and I have my little box of herbs here now. But
So,
I
yeah,
missed my garden that I had in Oakland. If you two remember that garden,
we're spoiled out here, of course, with.
my Oakland garden, I miss. But
We-
so
we-
you had greens for dinner, and what else? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Well, the greens and the mashed red potatoes with Miyoko's butter and olive oil. And what else? What else? Well, the greens are from the farmer's market.
We did umeboshi, plum vinegar, garlic, and a little sesame oil and some gamasio.
Nice.
as seasoning.
And then the potatoes had Miyoko's butter, olive oil, salt, and that was it. It was nice.
So in the middle of January, or even the end of January, what's at the farmer's market here, a lot of lettuces. That's pretty wild because there's frost. We're getting frost here. I don't know why the Central Valley isn't getting frost, but
How do you know it's not?
because you're bringing in fresh lettuce.
Oh,
Lettuce can't take frost
No.
unless they're growing it in
yeah, they're hoop house.
those protected, hoop house. That would do it. What else we got at the farmer's
Oh,
market?
tons of lettuces and sprouts and beets and a few oranges, some,
See, I was just there and I can't even remember.
right.
Lisa has this
It's the
phyto
sty.
microgreens happening right now. She has miniature arugula and all this. She's got just like a
We have miniature.
rolling hills of microgreens at her house.
We're talking about food.
We
and,
are.
and we were talking about Netflix. So here's where it all comes together. Jonathan Van Ness has his new show. Jonathan Van Ness is from Queer Eye.
You guys love Queer Eye.
He's the hair guy. So he has this
Hair guy.
really fun show. I'm sure it's aimed at high school kids or even middle school kids. But everyone can enjoy it. And each episode is like a scientific discovery into something that he's always wondered about. So the first episode is on bugs, insects, and how they could be a food revolution.
Right.
And he went to this very upscale, trendy New York insect restaurant. And, when we were in Thailand, we had ant larvae, and I thought that was the most exotic thing I've ever eaten. Probably still is. And, that's just average at this restaurant. So and let's say the amount of protein that you could cultivate,
Big bugs are big.
the amount of water used, everything. It could be a revolution if people got over.
A lot of that stuff's fermented, which is a challenge. If you can't do fermented foods, it's hard to.
Really? I don't know if you need. Well, you could definitely ferment it, or
A lot of the bugs that I've read about, a lot of them are like, even now they're making seaweed milk. It's fermented. Yeah.
So seaweed is the other new age food savior, possibly.
Bugs are big business. That's true.
Plank-
Not Bugs Bunny, but bugs.
Algae.
Algae milk.
Kelp.
Yeah.
There's a big fight now over kelp farming off the coast of California. And, it's tricky because we want what it represents. It's good, healthy food, but when it becomes an industry, and what's it going to do to the ecosystem? I mean, we're losing our kelp and our natural kelp to the sea urchin infestation. And so something has to happen to bring kelp back.
Right. But now kelp milk, just like almond milk, kelp milk.
It's going to have to happen. Something's got to change.
Something's got to change.
Something's got to change.
It's true. I wonder if you would have anybody addicted to bugs. How would you hypnotize? Would you have to say you need to have a particular bug that you wanted?
Are you talking about phobias? Like,
No, somebody that's really into eating bugs. What if they're like, Andy, I can't stop eating bugs.
That probably would be something I'd get into because there's big money there. There's so many people who are having problems because they're binging on bugs.
Oh, okay. What about someone that all of a sudden can't stop eating chocolate?
Now you're talking. All right.
They're addicted to chocolate.
This is a good thing to end on.
Okay.
There's chocolate and there's chocolate.
Okay.
So
They're
if we're
addicted to really good dark chocolate.
There's nothing wrong with that.
What if they're eating it every day?
So what? It's a
More than
that's
a square, and it's not 90%. It's like 60% dark
oh
chocolate.
well, 60% is not really.
Right, but 90 is not good.
Why not?
It's not, it's like,
You mean it
tastes
doesn't taste good,
right,
but
it doesn't
it
taste
is.
good.
It is
That's great.
good
Right.
for you.
Right, but it's not, you know.
Well, maybe that's the way it should be, because it if it were really let's say the 60% one, that's what you gorge on. But if
Okay, let's go there. Somebody's really into eating Canadian candy, for instance.
I mean, this is let's
I'm not talking about a
let's
square.
take
I'm
countries out of this. I don't want to make it a
although this is a Canadian candy bar that I was
yeah.
getting.
Let's just say candy bar with crappy milk
Not me,
chocolate.
Suzanne. She's like, Jenna, just keep eating your candy.
Yeah,
No.
just read the ingredients. I mean,
Right, but she's all of a sudden craving, and I said, maybe you have a magnesium thing. But what if a year from now she's still eating this chocolate? Does she come to you and say, Andy, I had 3 different, do you have to tell her, does she have to tell you which candy it is? What if it's just candy? We've had this conversation before. Like, how do you pinpoint what thing to choose to get hypnotized for?
well,
when
it's
it's
individual.
chocolate.
It's individual. So it would just
Yeah,
have to be
call her
a
up.
conversation with that person. If you could eliminate one thing that would have the most bang for the buck, like if this person only ate one particular type of candy bar, and
No.
they eat any kind of candy.
What if it's cheese? Cheese is really large. Is it this kind of cheese? All cheese. I love cheese. I could eat cheese every day. I probably need, but I don't eat
Well, then
it.
we're talking about let's assume it's straight up healthy cheese. It's not been pasteurized. It's organic. Everything. You rule out all the
$20 cheese instead of $8 cheese. Okay.
really high-end cheese, French cheese,
French
good
cheese.
old European cheese made from the southern cows.
That have been beautiful.
So now we're talking dosage. So cheese in and of itself is not a problem for most people, or for many people. It's dosage. If we're talking about somebody who's
What if someone's really into chocolate and cheese?
remember when Marty Feldman did this bit, and he went into Marty Feldman did this thing. I can't remember that it was a improv show, and he came in, and the skit was he came into an insurance salesman's office. He said, "And could you assure me for what if geese flew over my property and landed on my roof, and then what if a truck ran through the?" He just kept thinking of the wildest scenarios that he could be insured for. And they got wilder and wilder. And I don't know, somehow.
What if somebody's really into chocolate and cheese? That's their addiction. Do you, and you say to them, what cheese and what chocolate? Like, because one might lead to the other, and then the other one, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, each could be a gateway drug for the other.
Totally.
I personally have not run into that combo.
Have you ever had chocolate and cheese together? Oh, it's fabulous. I love chocolate and cheese together.
I have to think about it.
There's an album by the band Ween called Chocolate and Cheese.
Well, hey, chocolate ice cream is not that far away from chocolate and cheese.
That's like my mom, when we were kids, to get us to we'd have oatmeal or cream of wheat, cream of rice, cream of wheat. She'd let us put a little bit of ice cream in our oatmeal.
Or chocolate milk.
When you think about, no, what's in ice cream? Milk, butter, and it's cool, and it would cool down the oatmeal. So good.
I'm gonna have to call it a day, a
Gonna call
night.
it a day. Almost. Do you know
Yes.
the term? Do you know the term rabbit rabbit? And
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
yeah.
So
Why do you think I'm
I
wearing
had
red?
I had a friend, a neighbor growing up in Berkeley who always said rabbit, rabbit at the beginning of the month. And I always associated it with her because I rarely heard anybody else use it. Today, 2 people used it. You were one of them. And it just reminded me of her. And so where did you get it from?
I got it last night. Actually, I got it at midnight last night, rabbit, rabbit. And then I read about it today because then I was sent what it means. Do you want to know?
Yeah, I want to know.
Where to go? 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 Hold on. I got it. I'm circling back here. Hold on. Doo-doo-doo-doo. That's my hot water. Hot water.
I'm going to tell you who that person was. It was Ann Diamond. If any of you know Ann Diamond,
I know Jeff Diamond.
you know Jeff.
Yeah.
How do you know Jeff?
Jeff Diamond, who lives in Oakland. Jeff Diamond.
Well, he lives in Berkeley. He was our next door neighbor. Did he move?
No, it might be a different Jeff. Who is he married to?
He was divorced. It might be a different Jeff Diamond.
Diamond. Okay. Rabbit, rabbit. Why people say this good luck phrase at the beginning of the month? Rabbit, rabbit. There, now you'll have a month of good luck. For some people, the most auspicious way to start a new month is by uttering those words. Others say white rabbit or repeat the word rabbit, rabbit in some other quasi-ritualistic pattern, but the intent is always the same, to start the month on a good rabbit's foot. Where did this tradition come from? Like so many superstitions, the origin isn't quite clear. The practice probably started in the UK, where it's still common to say white rabbit on the first of the month. The first mention of such practice dates back to the early 1900s, and since then a few notable people have been known to invoke some of the magical phrase. In fact, another aficionado of this practice was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Barnett said he was known to carry a rabbit's foot during the 1932 election. We still have that rabbit's foot in a museum, and supposedly he said rabbit, rabbit at the beginning of every month. Whatever the reason, it's no stretch to see why it's rabbit, rabbit and not possum, possum, or whatever rabbits have been seen as good luck for centuries and are common symbols of rebirth. What better time to get a fresh start than at the beginning of a whole new month? Rabbit, 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 rabbit. And
Rabbit, rabbit.
what else is it today?
Well, tomorrow is my brother-in-law's birthday, and it's 2/2/22, and it's Groundhog Day.
It's Groundhog Day, but probably not in the West, on the West Coast.
Was
Rabbit,
is there
rabbit.
something else today about today?
Chinese New Year.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. You're the tiger,
What are you?
a metal rat. And because I was lucky enough to live to be 60, in the Chinese system, it's 60 years, a cycle, because you have 5 elements and 12 animals. And so if you make it through that huge cycle of 60, you get a prize. You get a prize at the end.
Oh, cool. Something to look forward to. I'm a wood dragon. Dragon wood.
Wood dragon. So last year was metal rat.
Metal
Again,
rat.
first time in 60 years.
Far out.
And
That's
I
really
don't remember. I don't know the element for the tiger this year. Maybe it's a wood. Is it a wood tiger? I don't know. Oh, it would be. It might be water. If we're going in the 5 element cycle,
Oh.
it would make sense to be water.
So this tiger's water?
It might. You know what? I'm going to look it up. But
Thomas, it's right. Ice cream, it also it cools it off and sweetens it because there's sugar and butter and milk. And what else do people put in there?
is there really butter in ice cream? It's cream.
Well, but it's like same thing.
Yeah. No, I,
Fact.
yeah, milk fat. But now you can get all sorts of non-dairy ice cream, really good stuff.
There's some good ones out there.
And we're gonna circle back
We're gonna circle back.
and talk about Dewey's, but not today.
They're sweet. Sweet boys that own Dewey's.
Okay, I'll give you a letter. Can I
Give me
you
a letter.
Why?
Why? Why would
Why?
you do such a thing? Why? Oh, Andy, why would you do such a thing to me? I just can't see. Why? I'm wondering if you know what you would see if you had why. So stay safe, stay healthy, and be real nice. And everybody come back here once or twice. And the Rader, hypnotherapist, acupuncturist to the stars. Oh my goodness, comes up with why. Have young thoughts. Have
Yellow.
yearning kind of words, and from your heart, always have
Yearning.
a yearning kind of heart. I love those lights, and so did Julie Luce. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, they have a strange effect in the Zoom. They look much better live.
Oh, they look really cool. Thank you. Yes, have a yes. Have a yes, just like this. Have a yes, kind of heart. Rabbit.
Rabbit. Yes.
Love heart, everybody.
Real heart.
Thank you.